Today, I will be reciting facts that I have memorized about the tragedy of the USS Maine in the 1898 year. Let's start. In October 1868, Cuban citizens took a stand against Spain and started the 10 Years' War. When they started to revolt, the U.S. was happy. They were against Spain's harsh rule over the Cubans and wanted a change in power. As Spain suppressed the revolution, the U.S. grew increasingly protective of the Cubans. And in February of 1898, they sent the USS Maine to Havana, Cuba, to protect U.S. interests. Early in 1868, Cubans were dissatisfied with Spanish rule due to corruption, slavery, high taxes, and the inefficient government. In an attempt to create a new government and gain freedom, they united under Carlos Manuel de Cepides to overthrow the government. On February 15th at 9:40 p.m. off the coast of Cuba, the lower deck of the USS Maine exploded, sinking the ship rapidly and causing the death of 266 men. As a result, the U.S. Navy formed a board of inquiry to find the cause of the explosion, but with the state of the wreck and little technical expertise, the board could not be as thorough or accurate as possible. After 4 weeks of investigation, the board concluded that the ship was sunk by a mine. They placed no blame on who planted the mine, but because the ship was sunk near Spanish-controlled Cuba, Spain took the blame. The short-term impact was that newspapers took advantage of the mystery surrounding the explosion and printed false stories to profit off the tragedy. The papers received mass attention from the public. Headlines like "Crisis is at hand," "Spanish treachery," and "Destruction of the warship Maine was the work of an enemy," and "Our new battle cry, remember the Maine," likely to become immortal in history. What the fuck happened? No! Floated through the news. The New York World printed the newspapers with headlines like Maine explosion caused by bomb or torpedo. But in private, their owner, Joseph Pulitzer, said nobody outside of a lunatic asylum should believe that Spain is to blame for the destruction of the Maine. Maine. Destruction of the USS Maine done by Spain. No, it was not. Maybe it was. We don't know. The false newspapers created a new type of media, yellow journalism, a newspaper that over-exaggerates and lies to its readers, and it's called that because the same newspaper, the New York World, printed a picture of a small yellow boy, a boy wearing a yellow coat, and everybody was mad about it, so they started calling it yellow journalism, and it's basically fake news. The long-term effect was that because of the tension over the Cuban Revolution, when the Maine exploded, it gave the media a perfect event to blame on Spain. The sinking resulted in a worse relationship with the U.S. and Spain ever, and became a main reason for the start of the Spanish-American War in 1898. That was my recitation of my History Day project. Mr. Kalova, please give me an A. USS Maine forever. Now we are going to be looking up and playing a clip of Gummo. 1 second here. Excuse me, sir. 1 second. Okay, I heard 6ix9ine went to jail, so I'm going to do this for him. N-words iffy, Blicky got the stiffy, got the blicky, drum it holds 50, scum gang, pop these N-words like a wheelie N-word, you silly N-word, in the hood with them Billy N-words and them Hoover N-words, you run up and they shootin' N-words, we ain't hoopin' N-word, no KB, you a loser N-word, up that Uzi N-word, on the stoop, krills on my drawers, your girl on my phone, she wanna fuck but keep her clothes on, I only want the jaw. Man, that's really all I use her for. I kick her out the door. I don't want her. You can keep the horse. She fiended for some more. In New York, my N-words don't merely rock. My N-words money bop. Blow a case and N-word throwing shots. I run 'em off their block. $250,000 in the stash box. I grinded for my spot. 1 second. Where was I again? I grinded for my spot. N-words talking about that cash, but my bag worth a lot. I don't fuck no old hoes, only new hoes. Put my dick in her backbone, I pass her to my bro. I don't fuck love that her, that's a sad hoe. She a bad hoe, I gonna fuck her, and I dash home to the cash hoe. I actually really don't like this song because, it really paints women in a negative light. And, I do be simping out here, so this is actually kind of offensive to me. I don't think that calling women whores and hoes, I don't think that's very appropriate in today's society. See, women are not sex objects, okay? They have rights, they have privileges, and whether or not you believe that they should be used primarily for sex or for social application in a relationship is up to you. But I don't agree with 6ix9ine on this one, actually. I think Gummo's a little bit offensive to the feminist movement, and not to go Ben Shapiro on here, but, facts and logic. Okay, so I know I've won the argument now, but, I gotta fill up a little bit more time, okay? This video is kind of long, and, I have gameplay in the background, and so that's kind of the point of the video. I'm gonna keep going. I'm on some Rob, that doesn't make, I'm on some Rob and N-word.